morning, guys. It is not the morning, it is the nighttime. And we're here, but we're here to speak about a topic that I feel like has not been discussed. I don't know if you guys been like me growing up, but if you had a little bit of background as the same thing I've been through, that's nothing, guys. Just like that. So, my background, I usually never really went out there, talked to guys. I was really much of a secluded type of person, and when I did talk to a guy, they honestly just used me for the entertainment, if you know what the fuck I mean, because I didn't know my worth back then. And that's not my fault. I teach people here to know their worth and understand that you are valueless. You have value, but don't put a number to your name. You have value, but remember that it's just the energy that you want to hold for yourself. Okay. Alright, let's get really to the topic of what we're talking about today. Today is a topic about finding love. Learning to love while you're still young. Learning to have that fun and that love that you can't really find when you're like, God knows, older or something, or you regret not going out there when you were younger. And I feel like, and I want to speak about this because it kind of drops into the topic of what I was talking about before, about how many people on this earth right now, humans, people, including me, we're just very out of tune with reality. We're out of tune with people around us or things like that. We don't really walk up and talk to anybody, honestly. If we talk to people, we texted them first online. It's not like, hey, I'm going to your house, I'm going to see you. And it's just okay. We're in a different era, a different age, but doesn't mean we have to act like we're old as hell on our phones, just caring about our phones all the time. Which kind of sucks in a way of saying it, because it's like, I know, like, the phone you feel very connected to, you feel very in tune with, but it's not reality. It's not your reality that you're looking at. And the reality that you want to create for yourself, you have to create it by stepping out of your comfort zone to not find it. I always say don't find love, but learn to live in the moment and find the love of just life. You flow and just meeting new people, making friends, meeting new potential matches that maybe are not matches, but are just like flings or some things like that for the summer. Not anything like so serious. Doesn't mean you have to give up what you want right away, but what I'm saying is learn to use your energy for, how do I put, the flowing way. I believe you should use your energy. And mind you, I feel like I'm rattling on because I was doing two things at once. Now let's actually get serious. It's okay to keep those boundaries. It's okay to have time for yourself. But if you're like me, I gave too much time for myself. I really just went into hermit mode. And like, you get out of you want to get out of hermit mode, but you just transformed your life, like really, with friends that you used to be with relationships that you used to mess around with for fun, not with that. So what's the next step? That's what I want to teach you. That's another addition of learning to love while you're young, still young, because you can make those mistakes. You could go out with new people, and it's okay to do that in a way. I'm not going to say a way. It's okay to form those type of relationships. People are always like, the way that people have shaped you, your friends, family, all that, is probably the way other people are going to think of you, which is not true. It's not true. It's so untrue about that, about believing that other people are going to think a certain way or have a certain viewpoint than another. You cannot compare two people together. And I'm saying this more into a relationship because I feel like that's more stemmed on people trying to find relationships, and they're just feeling like they don't want, it's all going to be the same thing, which is not. It's just you have to put yourself out there to be able to receive anything. If you don't put yourself out there and you stay in your little bubble, which is okay, grow and you become who you want to be, that's never a bad option. But I'm saying if you want to learn to love life and go with the flow and go with the motions of things and learn to literally transmute yourself to be in the present moment of what you're living in. That's the best key, is what I want to tell you. It's not about learning to learning to love, blah, blah, blah. It's also learning to just go with the flow of life. It all connects together. And when I say that, like, what do you mean go to the flow of life? I thought you meant how we're learning how to love. Yes, we are, but the way to learn how to love and actually be open to things is first going with the flow of what life has to give you. And what I mean by that is that you can have your daily routines, your tasks, going to work and things like that. That's all a flow, that's all something. But a flow of your life, a flow of how many friends you want, how many family members you want to chill out with, planning those times to be able to see one another, be in the present of life. That's what I'm trying to say. That's how you find love when you're young. You cannot find love staying in hermit mode. You cannot find love staying where you're at and being on your phone and talking to people, because it's honestly, you're just talking to them. You don't really know them. You don't know what type of personality they have until you meet them in person. And that's when you really get to know who a person is. And most 9 out of 10 times I know, because I am you that knows, that does not go out with the guy, or out with a person, or out with a friend, or a new friend, or things like that. I get you. I understand. We got that out of the fucking way. So, alright, let's cut that part out. I'm sorry. Now that we got that out of the way, I keep cursing, bro. I'm sorry. But it's true. You cannot flow with your life if you stick to a stagnant type of being. Doing your job, doing your daily routines, going working out, that's all good. It's all helping and healing you, but it's not also preparing you for, you understand, the world. Going out back into the world, the flow of things. And when you go out into the world and you go with the flow of life, I'm not going to tell you, hey, it's going to be all peaches and creams and lovely rainbows. No, you're going to have mistakes. You're going to have mishaps. Things are going to happen. That's why life is there. So you could keep learning these lessons and keep growing as a person within. But that's too much. I feel like I'm going too deep. Let's take a break. Alright, let's go back and to figure out steps on what you should do. First, I always say, getting off from work is so hard. It's probably a difficult thing for some people, or depending on what job you have. But I always believe at least take out maybe a day or so, just so you have time to recharge who you are, or go out with somebody you want to. Spend life living. It's always what I say, and people don't understand that. When you live life, you're actually living. You understand what I mean like that? When you live your life, two different things than what I'm saying. You're just living to be able to survive. Oh, that's so funny. You're living to be able to survive. So you're not living, you're just surviving. And I know a lot of people have talked about this. And I'm not the only person to say it, but it's an honest, true thing that you need to learn. And with my hard-headed self, that, trust me, my ass don't want to learn nothing. I'm kidding. My ass is very stubborn. But when I tell you that is definitely a part of my... Sorry, I'm looking at deers. Part of my healing journey that I had to go through and am going through right now. It sucks. I had a lot of mishaps. I had a lot of problems, mistakes that happened. I will not lie to you. But trust me, it is so much better than just being where I'm at. Sticking to myself. Doing my own thing. I love doing that. No, don't get me wrong. But when you do it so often, so much, then it's like, are you really in your reality, or are you just living inside of it, in a way? Only living inside of it, but you're not living to make experiences, memories that you're going to remember when you're older. That's what I mean. That's the memories. I could make them now. Or 20s, when you're 20, it doesn't even fucking matter how old you are. 30s, 40s, 50s, you can make memories anytime. Life is supposed to be lived throughout your whole life of being on Earth. But people need to understand there's surviving and there's living. And sometimes you do need to survive. I'm not telling you, hey, give up everything. Give up your job, give up your relationship, give up your friends. Live a different life. No, I'm not telling you to do that. What I'm telling you is to really open up your horizons to live your life. If you're with a relationship that you're not really happy on, why spend the rest of your life hating it? Why spend the rest of your time as you're young that you could find somebody different that fits you on somebody that you want to settle down with because you feel like it's the best thing to do because society believes in it. Which come on guys, we are too aware to understand that we don't need to follow what society has placed on us since we were kids. We have our own way of thought or way of process of life. If you want to have fun, have fun. And that does not mean go hoe around and do whatever the hell you want. No, what it means is to really live in your moment. Live in your present. That's what it means. Learning to love life in your present moment. Instead of, and I'm going to tell you, instead of working jobs, which is good to save up that money, save up that money for something, but it's not the only thing. Don't always believe money is everything. We're young, we're supposed to be able to experience life in a different viewpoint. Because when we're older, it's going to be 10 times different. What probably half of us is going to have kids by then. So why not live where you're at? Why not take the opportunities that without you? It doesn't even matter if you have kids or not right now. Like, take care of your kids. If you got them, don't not take care of them. But I still find time or plan. I always say plan time to live your life responsibly. Of course, I'm putting that out there, guys. But responsibly, and don't take life so seriously, because that is the one thing I wish somebody has told me. Years has passed. I really wish. It sucks because I'm still sitting here and I'm gonna tell you, do I take life seriously? Yes, because I want something so big for myself and want something so known in this world that of course it's on my mind every day. And the problem is, it's not only because I want something for myself, it's because I want to help as many people as I could on this earth. And that's all I ever wanted. And that's a lot of weight when you got the world on your shoulders. But I do this and I sacrifice what I do for only one reason. And that's because I went through it. And I've started this journey with literally nothing to give. Nothing. I did a lot for myself. I really took self-care to a deep core, but I never really broadened my horizons in life, and I regret not doing that back in high school. I regret not being able to see past things, you understand? Every time back in high school that I would actually go and do something, things happened. And I'm not saying it's just college shit that happened. I'm not college. High school things that were serious to me but unserious to other people. And I take it like that. I'm not going into detail about that, but what I say is I just didn't live my childhood. I was usually in the hospital or trying to survive, honestly. Working 2 jobs, getting kicked out of my house. I never really got to live life. And that's not because that was external things that were happening in my life, but also it's because I never learned the true understanding of things. Even starting my couple years into college, I never learned to open up or live life like in the present, and that was my fault. And I can't take those years back for myself. I can't unthink of the things I could have done differently to make myself happier. I believe things happen for me for a reason, because mistakes I made help shape who I am right now. So things had to happen for a reason for me. And I'm not mad at it. I'm just here to tell you guys that things are going to happen. Mistakes are going to happen on this journey of life. But don't stay in hermit mode and not live in your present. Or stay on this, I don't even have a phone right now, but stay on your phone and live in a reality that's not yours. Because it's not real. And it's never going to be. Until you create the reality for yourself by getting out there and opening yourself up to new things, meaning look at new TikTok places that you can do friend meetups or things like that, or go out with people that honestly you don't think you would probably give a chance, but you guys would vibe around good. You have a good vibe with. Do it. Why not? If things don't work out, if it's not your type or it's not your type of cup of tea, you never see them again, whatever. It happens. That's life, and that's the mistakes. And not mistakes, I call it, but lessons, I call it. And all of us, we live so much in the future or so much in our past that we don't see what we never grasp into our present moment. And that is key in life. To learning to love, to learning to Do whatever you want when you're young. And the key moment is to realize that presence is what's going to keep you balanced. It's going to keep you grounded. It's going to keep you sane in life, because you're not living in your past moments anymore. You're not living in those memories that probably, maybe if you had a past, I always say past life or past trauma that shaped like your adulthood, it's gonna bring chaos or problems into your adult life, and that's things you're gonna have to work on your own and heal for yourself. And I will always make videos to help people go deeper and deeper into figuring out why they do what they do, not because they mean to, just because they don't understand anything else. Trust me, I've had a lot of that. It's a story, I will say, almost like a freaking book, but I had to learn how to develop everything on my own. And some people get lucky to have people, mentors or role models to help them in life, but when you're actually that role model, you don't really got anybody. Figure it out all on your own. If you're really, I always say not even like a role model, but if you're really that in tune with life, that's a better way of saying it. I'm sorry, I'm taking J. Cole. No role models, and I'm here right now. Sorry. That's what I'm thinking of in my head. But I say if you have that aligned under, I'm trying to think of the word, awakened. It starts with an A, and I'll put it right here. But awakened type of mindset in life, it's very hard to get advice from people or even grasp the advice that they're giving you, because sometimes it doesn't really help. And that's like my look on life. I say take it with a grain of salt. I always say that, but people need to learn that life is going to be stressful, and we are getting into a time that nobody understands. Literally nobody understands. Why? Because we just invited technology into a generation of ours that we don't know the consequences on. I'm sorry, yes, older generations are affected by this even harder too, but the people who are actually needing to transition and learn how to live life without a phone at the age of 20, of a generation that's probably, this is our transformative years, we need to learn how to become more present into a reality that's so technicalized. Technicalized? It's a new word. But we're all online, we're all on this camera screen and talking. And yeah, it's good, it keeps us connected, but it does not really keep us that connected into living in our present moment. And that's what I have to say. We just scroll our lives away. We just scroll and don't plan anything for ourselves. Don't make connections with people, or plan to make connections with the connections you already have, and lose friends or family members because of it. It's gonna happen if you don't realize that you're living in your own reality. You're living in your own present. Every step of the way, every single day that you're on your phone or you're doing something every day, that's another day of your presence or your present moment. And it can change any day that you want. You just have to be the one willing to do it. I'm hoping this makes sense, because I love to analyze things deeper to make sense more, but this is what I've been taking out of life and what I've been doing for my present moment. I've been trying to stay as present I possibly can in a world that is not very present, I would say. We're all very much present here on our phones. I'm serious. I'm gonna show you what people look like. I swear to God, I see this freaking everywhere. Sorry. When I see people do this, I feel like they don't even have a freaking soul. I don't even understand it, but I'm like, I look at people, I'm like, so entranced with this phone. And I'm not gonna lie and say that I'm not a victim of this. I'll be on my phone too. Come on. We all are. But it's not the whole thing of life. It's really taking up so much time of your own present life that you're not even realizing it. And you're probably not going out, not having fun, not planning things with your friends, because you're just so warped into your own reality of things. And let me tell you this generation, I'm sorry, but so you guys are some hard-working bad bitches, alright? And motherfuckers too, because men, you too. You guys are some hard-working people, but we also need to learn how to be in the present moment and enjoy what we have. Because if we work our asses off in our work, we're working to just survive. I'm sorry to say, we're working for that pay check. That's all we're working for. This is a rat race, I call it. And life will catch right up to you if you don't realize that you need to become present and feel life. If not, life will pass you the hell up. If snap, it'll be 20 years from now. You'll be with kids, you don't even know what the hell happened. Because you never lived inside and created your own life. And the biggest key and biggest step to do that is stepping out of your comfort zone. Stepping out and doing things different. And I know it's like, I don't want to do that. I get it. I fucking understand. Get over it, because I had to. And trust me, there's sometimes that I'm still a little like, ooh, I'm scared. I'm not scared, but like, ooh, trauma. I'm sorry. But it's true. It happens. You'll find, you honestly, when you're trying to be open to things, you'll realize that you have more triggers than you notice for yourself. And I'm gonna leave it like this because I go on and talk, and I can talk for hours on end. So I'm gonna wrap it up like this. Alright? I'll see you guys in the next. Alright? Love you guys.